download some really good scripts, as well for free. And we'll probably put them on a drive folder, download a few, and then give you guys a link. But if you guys have like certain coaches scripts that you guys been using, or Tom Ferry, Mike Ferry, Grant Cardone, or whatever it may be, put it on the comments real quick. I'm curious which ones it is so that we can go over some of these towards the end.
So just feel free to put in the comments like what scripts you guys use. All right, good. All right, we got a few shy people here. All right, guys, this is gonna work with communication. So let's make this interactive. So why don't we start with just an intro to sales? Basically, how important is it? Actually, why don't we open up with the question? How many of you guys feel that we are salespeople? And how many are on the opposite side that we don't really need to sell ourselves? There's always that debate, right? That we're not, like, real estate agents are not salespeople. And unfortunately, we do have to sell. And we're not talking about selling homes, right? We're not talking about, oh, I can sell your house for top dollar, or I'm gonna get you into a sales. I'm gonna try to sell you to get that particular property because that's what I need to do, right? It's more about how do you sell yourself to be able to be chosen by someone who wants to buy. When you go to a listing presentation, what are the things that you're doing yourself in order to get picked out of possibly 2, 3, 4, 5 different agents?
Especially with the market tightening up, right? The market's tightening up so much that you need to be able to stand out, because whether you're a buyer or a seller, it's a tough market out there. Even as a buyer or a seller, you're gonna have 5 sharks like myself, like Roberto, like all of you agents out there trying to get this transaction in order to put food on the table. And when transaction volumes go down, people get even more desperate and get more aggressive. So it gets even tougher sometimes. And you need to be able to be authentic with them at the end of the day, and emphasize that you're really genuine, and your genuine interest is helping them accomplish their goals. As an agent, as a broker, when we speak to a buyer or seller, the very first thing that we need to get down and make sure we understand completely is we need to understand, okay, what is their why? Why are they possibly thinking of moving or not? Why are they possibly thinking of buying or not? Are they able to? What's the correct situation for them? And then sometimes we even need to push them in the direction that they want to be in, that they need to be in, that they have to go in, and give them guidance and direction, and even be like a counselor. We even turn into like marriage counselors sometimes. It's really something that you have to make sure that you're so genuine, that you care, and you're seeing their specific situation, and being able to figure it out and guide them in the right direction.
And it also is how you put yourself in their shoes, right? How do you build that rapport? I think Seb mentioned, right? We're salespeople, but we're more than just about being chosen because of how we sell. It's more about that, appointment. It's more of that follow-up, more of that rapport building over time that's going to get you the business. And also being able to understand the sales process, right? Yes, right? We are not just selling, but we're supporting them. We're helping them through the transaction. So by fact finding, asking questions, right? Most of the time in a conversation, the less we talk and the more someone else talks, the more we learn, right? The 80-20 rule, right? Asking open-ended questions, being resourceful too, like connecting people right away with the lender, having access to a credit repair coach, a credit repair agent who can help people drive, get them to where they need to be in terms of credit. I know a lot of agents and loan officers who have teamed up with really good credit repair companies to get people from, sometimes, a 600 to a 620 to a 640 can make a huge difference in payments. And sometimes that's all they need. So being resourceful and building those relationships with these type of businesses is going to help you get more clients also.
Super important. Roberto, one of the big things that everybody says ABC, right? Always be closing, always be doing that. And it doesn't necessarily, in our industry, it doesn't necessarily mean that you have to be a sleazy car salesman and always be closing in that method, in that manner. It means that you're always paying attention to what your clients' needs are, to what their intentions are, and you're helping them clarify them. It's just like when you go to a listing appointment, it's like, okay, well, what's your plan after you, you're always implementing into their head, their house is sold, right? That their property sold. Oh, as soon as we sell this house, what's your next move? When your house sells, where are you going next? As soon as your property's listed, are you okay with us putting up a sign right away? And what days and times work for you to show the property, especially if they live in it, right? So you're always putting in a seller's head, you're putting in there, hey, I'm listing it. Your house is selling. Let's start making up your mind of what you're doing and where you're going. And sometimes it's a little bit vague, especially during like a divorce, or especially during a time where people are unsure of exactly where to go, are unsure of exactly what their next move is. That's one of the times that you need to help them and guide them and push them in the right direction. And the right direction is the direction they already know, the direction they already want. You're just helping them clarify that in their head.
Now, again, talking about sales, understanding the process someone goes through before they can make a decision whether they want to, talk to you, and then they're ready to talk to a lender, and the process to talking to a lender, getting all their documents, trusting you enough to just send you documents like their social security card, their ID, and all those things. It's basically getting people from top to bottom, right? Like, what are you guys doing to create awareness of your brand, right? What are you guys doing to show yourselves as the go-to person to go to? This could be by either, if you want to do paid advertising, do some video advertising, maybe start creating your own videos, start creating your own content. How many here actually have taken advantage of social media as a way to generate branding for yourselves? Free. All right, we got Veronica, Frankie. It's important that we create awareness first, right? If nobody knows we exist, how do you bring people through that funnel, right? Um, I was just talking to another agent a couple days ago, and one of the things that we were talking about is the difference between what was done prior to social media, right? What is it? What is that saying? Shake hands, kiss babies, like networking, being being part of different clubs, meeting people every day, talking about real estate. ABC, always be closing, is not just about closing, but what do you do to get close deals, right?
At the end of the day, you can be part of, any company under the sun. And what really truly matters at the end of the day is not the company that you're with. It really matters your own personal branding, because the customers, the buyers, the sellers are going to follow you. They're gonna let their, after parents buy a home or two and their kids grow up and they're getting married, they're going to tell their kids, yeah, make sure you call David. Make sure you call David, son. He's going to help you and guide you in the right direction to purchase your first home, or to sell the home out. After we're gone, make sure that you use David, because he always guided us in the right direction and gave us really good information. It's super, super important that you're always thinking about that.
And one of the things that with the sales funnel, and one of the ways that we've implemented this sales funnel into the backend systems for some of the agents that we work with, is segregating your leads, your contacts, right, into the different phases that they're in. The closer to the closing stage, the more emphasis we put in targeting them through whether it's ads, social media, phone calls, text messages, emails, value, value, value. The more we do that, the closer we get to that closing. So understanding the progress that someone makes through this sales funnel is very important as you guys, go day to day, do your business, talk to people, and build relationships, really. See, right now, for example, we have John White, one of our agents. He's already trying to build relationships, right? Always be closing, always be selling. And that's what it is about. Even that one little message, I mean, could change business, can add business. David, what was that thing you were talking about last time in that video about the barber, right? We were
I
recording
think,
some content.
oh, the barber one. Okay, yeah. One of my one of my best resources, we were doing some content, and it just so happened that I was taking my kids myself to the barber that I've been going to for the past 12 years. I've taken my boys there since they were babies. They got their first haircut with him. And I've known him of just about that long, about 12 or 13 years. And I go to this guy every single week. Like this is somebody I go to every single week. So I always make it, very valuable for him and for myself at the same time. Every time I go to the barber, I make sure that I'm asking him who he knows, what they do, who's buying, who's selling. Make sure I give him market data, insights on what's going on in the market. And what happens? It's funny because I'll get customers that call me, be like, "Hey, Manuel referred me to you, the barber. We were talking real estate, and he was telling me about how the market's doing. It's a really good time to buy, or it's a really good time for me to sell and maybe move elsewhere. Or we're thinking about my family's growing. I've been, going to him for years. Now we're married. We have 3 kids. We need a larger home. And we're just talking shop, talking real estate while he's cutting my hair. And he mentioned your name and gave me one of your cards. So this barber has not only made me probably tens of thousands of dollars, and I've probably paid him a very small fraction of that. So he's made me tens of thousands of dollars. So all of my haircuts for myself, my kids, have always been technically free, in my opinion, with him because he's made me way more money than I've ever paid him. And all I do is I pay him well. I don't pay him 20 bucks, 25 bucks a haircut for my boys or for myself. I pay him 40, 50, $60 a haircut to show appreciation, the time we spend, and all of the different customers that he sent me. With that said, that hour and a half that I spend with them to get the 3 different haircuts for my 2 boys and myself has been probably the most valuable time that I've spent with anybody outside of my other referral partners, that has made it worth it, to invest that time and energy to communicate well with them, to care about how his kids are doing, to care about how him and his wife go out and had a good time and where they went, and talked about their experiences, and at the same time told them about my vacation and my experiences. Super, super valuable. So next time you go to your hairstylist, you go to a barber, you need to think about that and start implementing your marketing strategy with them. Everything is business at the end of the day. I even tell my wife this at the end of the day, that even the relationship that we have is business. I take care of her, she takes care of me. She takes care of the kids, I take care of the family, whatever it may be. She takes care of the house, I take care of the cars. I don't know. It's all a relationship that goes 2 ways. It's a 2-way street. It's really never a 1-way street. And when a relationship, any relationship, a friendship, a marriage, whatever it may be, is a 1-way street, it doesn't work. Even when you go to your local dealership, your auto mechanic, they do work on your vehicle and you pay them well, whatever it may be. So you need to think about it that way. And that's kind of what we talked about with that, whether it's your barber, whether it's once a year when you see your tax preparer, whether it's once a month when you see your pool cleaner guy, the guy goes to clean your pool once a week. Build a relationship with him. They're at 200 houses a week. They talk to 200 different customers a week. These are all sources of referrals that you should be capitalize, and I call it the Godfather effect or the Padrino effect in Spanish. If you're able to build 10 Godfather relationships with 10 different people, then you really built them probably with about 1,000 people, because each of the 10 each have 10 people or 50 people each, and that number starts to accumulate and really build really, really quickly. So make sure you're thinking about the Godfather or Padrino effect and building this relationship with your tax preparers, with your insurance guys, with your hair, stylists or your barbers, all of those different people that you see every once in a while, or every week, or every month, or every 6 months, or every year, whatever it may be, because they're going to be, if my barber makes me 100 grand a year or 80 grand a year, and my tax preparer makes me another 60, 70 grand a year, and my insurance guy makes me another 50, 60 grand a year, start to calculate those numbers. And all it was is because I took time to build a genuine relationship and care about him, his kids, his vacation, his experiences, and at the same time share some of my own personal experiences, with my family and the different things that are going on.
And one thing to note, guys, is the fact that, like with if you guys see the screen right now with the value distinction, the value proposition, right? When you're building those relationships, like why would, that barber send business to David over, another real estate agent in the same area, right? Like David said, I mean, he is being more proactive about really building a relationship, right? And not only that too, because I know David is also sending business to this barber. So the relationship is mutual. So how can
Yeah.
you do that yourself?
Yeah, I've probably sent the barber maybe 100 people over the last 10 years, personal friends and acquaintances and stuff like that, or people that look at my cool haircut or my kids and be like, damn, that's a cool haircut. Hey, go to this guy, right? Because and I'm being selfish, guys, as well. I'm being constructive. This is all a business plan at the same time, because I know that I have a relationship now with this barber. And if I send him somebody, whether I know him really well or I don't know this other person really well, he's going to speak very highly of me. So when this person calls me to help him sell his house or buy a house, he's already convinced. I don't need to sell him. He's already sold on working with me, because he's heard one or two or three people speak really highly of me already. And I don't have to sit there and sell them. I just have to take care of them, make sure I'm genuine about the conversation with them, about their needs, and take it from there. That's it. That's how it works. It's that simple if you think about it.
So guys, remember, keep building those relationships and understand what you're bringing to the table, right? What are you good at that you can see, they can see that where you're really putting yourself out there so that they understand the difference between you and the next guy who's also trying to get their business. And it's important to understand too, I know a lot of agents, especially the newer agents coming into the business, they want to start learning everything about, right, how to show homes, what's the home buying process, negotiation skills, just figure out how to get more homes outside of the MLS. Like what are the things that you can start, like pick one thing, get good at it, and then move on to the next, right? The biggest concern that you should have as a newer agent right now is, if some of them are new here, is getting business, right? Getting clients. And these relationships that David is mentioning, these are the ones that are gonna what is that thing, David, you always say, like planting seeds so that
One extra seat every day, extra one seat every day. And one of the ideas that you guys can do, whether you're a newer agent or even experienced agent, is share what you're doing daily. It's really simple, guys. Share on your social media profiles what you're already doing daily. What are you doing daily? You're searching for homes online. Share them. Hey guys, look at the homes I just found that are for sale. You're previewing homes for clients, or you're showing homes to clients. You're going on listing appointments for possible listings. You're cold calling, different lists, whether it's buyers or sellers. Hey, trying to find a buyer, trying to find a seller in this area because I have two buyers that really want to buy in this area. That's all you have to do on social media. If you don't want to build other content, if you don't want to create other content and spend time on it, just share what you're already doing. Just share that you're showing homes. Just share that you're previewing homes. Just share that you're writing a contract. Just share that you're in the real estate business and You're trying to figure out what the market's doing in certain areas to make sure that you're informed. That's all you have to do as a real estate professional, is to let others know what you're already doing. Share with them. Share with them what you're already doing. It's not that big of a deal. You don't have to make it, you don't have to be a rocket scientist. You don't have to get all this, graphic designing skills and video editing skills and all this other shit. You really, really don't. All you have to do at the end of the day is just share what you're already doing or trying to do. A lot of you guys, well, I don't have a lot of business maybe right now. Just share that you're trying to get business and how you're trying to do it. Just share that you're going to preview homes to see what's available and what the condition is of certain properties. That's all. That's it. Nothing crazy, nothing fancy, nothing real specific. Just, hey, this is what I'm doing. This is what's going on. This is what I see happening in these areas. My goodness, I can't believe home prices are going up still in this market, or they're going down in this area. Hey, I just found this great buy. Needs a lot of work, but it's a really, really good buy for this area. The same things you're already doing, we just need you to share them. We just need you to talk about them. That's it. That's all you need to do.
Just figure out what your value is. It doesn't matter if you sell, 10 homes a year, 1 home a year, 100 homes a year. Just figure out, just put yourself out there, and people will start to reach out. They're going to see you as the go-to agent. So figure out what your value proposition is, and then just explode that by promoting yourself through either social media, building relationships with people that you're talking to, and just get that business. So again, ABC. So going back to what we talked about earlier with the script, right? Is it important to have a script when you're talking to new people? Some people say yes, some people say no. Some people feel that they're going to sound too robotic, but the idea with the script is not so much for you to repeat things word for word, even when you're calling people, right? Even when you're calling, if you're about to dial expireds, a dial FISBOs, having a script in front of you is not meant to for you to, at least what we feel, is not meant for you to read it line by
It's not
line.
meant for you to replace what you're already, the knowledge you already have. It's not meant to replace what you already know. It's not meant to replace the genuineness of asking questions of their situation. It's meant to help and guide you to push the client in the direction they already want to go in. To make them realize, you know what, I do want to sell my house. Shoot, I do want to be at this other place. I do need to do that. This is what I'm gonna do. This is what I want to do. It's just to help you push them and guide them in the direction that they already want to go, which is buying a house or selling a property. Real simple. And one of the ways that I learned initially early on when I was in the business, I listened to scripts, but it was more of live scripts. And what do I mean by that? I was stuck in like a 15 by 15 room with like 6 real estate agents because we were all newer. But some guys were already closing transactions, and I didn't know what the hell I was saying or doing, or how to close a deal, or how to talk to clients. I didn't know how to do any of that. I shut up and I listened to everybody in that room every single day. I was listening to Rafa's script, what he was telling clients over the phone. I was listening to Maricela's script. What is she telling people over the phone? I was listening to John's. I was listening to Robert's. I was listening how they talk to clients every single day, which was technically their script, so to speak. And then I implemented a little bit from each and created my own personal so-called script. That's the way you do it. That's what you do. You take Mike Ferry's script, you take Tom Ferry's script, you take Grant Cardone's, you take your own script of what you already do with clients. You take your coworkers and the colleagues script of what they do with clients and what they talk about, and then you create your own so it's authentic, so it's genuine. The same thing we've been talking about. Make sure you're authentic. Make sure you're very, very genuine about what you're saying and how you say it. Don't sound like a robot. Don't sound like you're scripted. Be yourself, but also implement things that work. Implement the systems and tools like scripts that actually work to help you guide people in the right direction, which is selling or buying. Real simple.
And to answer your question, Frankie, we are going to make some of the scripts that we use available. Again, you can use them as guidelines. And a few just key points on the script is it helps you maintain the pace of the conversation, right? It makes you aware of where you want to drive that conversation to. Because I don't know, but I've gotten into calls that have lasted 15 minutes and also calls that have lasted, what, 45, 50? Just because I decided to maybe go off the script, the guideline that I had, and I just had, I guess, a bit longer of a talk than I wanted to. And so it's important to have scripts just to guide you. Okay, what's the right next question? And most importantly, I think where a script really shines is in the objection handling. That's where it really, really counts, because you have to practice objections, right? Also try to understand when someone tells you something, when is it really an objection versus something that they just, maybe you just bore them. They don't want to talk to you anymore because whatever information you provided them, they've heard that over and over again. So by having a script and asking the right questions is going to guide you to have the conversations that you want to have. We are going to make those available to we're going to put them in a drive, and we're going to put them in a course structure as well, so you guys can kind of go in and check them out on your own time. We'll take care of that. So this is something that absolutely handling objections. If you can practice those weekly, one of the best things you can do is practice, in front of a mirror, or again, call your fellow agent and start practicing those calls. We are going to start including some of those role play presentations into these weekly meetings so that we can get some of that practice as well, and we can get better on the phone so that we can start converting at a higher level. Very important to understand the structure of your call when you're building your script, right? Whatever scripts we make available to you, use them as a guideline, but it's very important that you understand the structure of that call. Like depending on the person you're talking to, if it's a listing presentation or if it's a buyer presentation, you want to understand motivation, right? That's one key. Like if they're looking to sell, why are they looking to sell? What's their motivation to move? Do they really want to sell? Honestly, if there's no motivation to sell, you may spend hours in a listing presentation and you're not going to get that listing at all. If you don't find the true motivation for that person to move, that person may not even be looking to move, and they're just wasting your time also, right? So try to figure out exactly what you want. Like, for example, we have this lady, she's been in our pipeline for, I don't know, 6 months now. And she started with, I want to sell and we want to buy. And it's been 6 months. She has the capability of selling at the asking price that she wants, but she just doesn't want to sell. So all we're doing is, like Seb mentioned before, it's just the follow up and follow through until eventually, if we just continue to build that rapport and we continue to be in front of her, eventually she's gonna, sell. But having the right call structure when it comes to motivation, time frame when they're looking to move, are we the right agent? Are we the right mortgage people to work with them? And are we getting in front of them enough to get them to commit to working with us, right? So understanding exactly what we want out of that call through a structure system, whether it's a script or just a list of steps of questions that you want to ask and make sure you cover. Those are things you need to keep in mind when you're having conversations with people, whether they're buying or selling. So that's pretty much it for what we wanted to cover today. I know we've had a couple comments in our chat. Benon, do you have any questions? I saw you raised your hand.
I'm all set. Thank you so much.
All right, good. So we'll get you access to the recording today, and we'll get you guys access to some of the scripts we're using. Any questions right now that you guys have, or everybody's getting ready to go eat or do some prospecting?
Yeah, no, the presentation was very informational today. I appreciate it. Definitely got a lot out of it. Definitely, I'm gonna start doing and producing more content. I mean, my kid's mother is a real estate agent, and I'm always going out, doing open houses and stuff with her. And sometimes we get so busy that I don't even think to just be capturing what we're doing, so just putting that memory in my head to just, whatever we're doing, whether it's out eating, looking at houses, whatever, just start getting that content and just using that I feel would be helpful. Yeah.
And I mean, content really, guys, it comes down to, two things. Like we have agents that have been very successful with just putting themselves out there, very minimal on social media by like putting out static content, and they've gotten some results. But once they shifted their mindset to, okay, I need to be doing more of like what you talked about, right, John? Just looking for opportunities to present yourself as a real estate agent. When they started doing that, their results exploded, right? Their results went up at least 10 times, right? They 10x their results just by putting that spin, that branding, because not only was he
One of the
working on
agents
his
said,
social media.
well, just a quick example. You guys can hear me okay?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Yeah, just a quick example. Maria Roberta, she works with our company, and she started out doing between 5 and 7 transactions a year. I forced her to at least post 3 or 4 times a week on what she was doing on a daily or weekly basis, in real estate. And this was 24 months ago. She's probably, I think, at her 28th transaction this year, and still about to close another couple deals. So that powerful switch and just doing that one simple thing has been able to help and 10x their business. So just something to think about, guys.
Small steps will lead you to that, and sometimes it's fear. Sometimes we don't feel like we're making any progress, or sometimes we feel like, hey, what if we do this, it's just not working. But at the end of the day, it's consistency. Consistency over time is what really gets you the results you want. Whether you're gonna put yourself out there in social media, whether you're gonna do 1 video a week, whether you're gonna do 5 videos a week, or maybe you're just gonna call 10, 20, 30 expireds every single day. Now you're going to start dealing with FSBOs. Maybe you're going to make it a point to build one more relationship every single week. Or if you're not doing this, when you go to your barber, you're going to make it a point to talk to them about the market. Ask questions, right? Not necessarily selling yourself. Hey, I'm an agent if you know someone who wants to buy, sell, but more about how do you start a conversation to get them for them to really start the conversation with you and build that rapport with them. All right, guys, very nice being with you guys here today. We really appreciate you spending time with us. I hope this presentation was of value to you, and we will program a quick workshop on how to use Canva and how to create content automatically for weeks at a time, and not really spend too much time on it. And then we're going to cover, objection handling here as well. Some of our scripts that we use for conversion, some of the systems that we are using in the background as well. That's helping us get more leads into our pipeline, more conversations. We're going to talk about the use of ISAs. How important are they in your business, right? Are you looking to scale? Are you looking to build the backend system so that you can concentrate on the forefront, right? Get more business. We're going to cover a lot of different topics. I hope you guys find value. We're going to be sending emails with invites. Join us. And we'll be happy to see you next week.
Awesome. Thank you, guys. Appreciate it, guys, showing up.
All right, guys.
Thank you, Roberto.
See you next week. Bye. Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
Bye. Thank you.